In the previous video, we covered about the predicted timeline of all of the events that Arknights Global may face in the next few months. Within that video, there were a few recurring questions that some of you have asked me. These questions include things like where did the Greyy login event go, what about the Halloween skin reruns, and is there no W rerun banner, when is W actually coming back to Global? So, I'm going to answer about all of the events that seem to have disappeared and then tell you guys when they'll probably come to AK Global, and then also talk about some of the future events where it's a little bit uncertain whether we're actually going to get these events or not. So, let's get it started. We're gonna start off the video getting this out of the way first, because some of you are new players and even some of you are old, but then you guys see this event and you're thinking, wait, why does AK Global not have it? And till now you've never gotten an answer. So let's answer this once and for all at the start of the video, whereby we're gonna talk about the KFC event. Now, I've already spoken about this in my collaboration video with Surtr as to why we don't have the KFC event, so this is just gonna be like a reiteration. Now, we do see that the Rainbow Six Siege event has already happened and the collaboration has ended, and we're thinking if that collaboration can happen and even the WWF one happened, then what about the collaboration with KFC? Why aren't we getting it? Because isn't KFC like a global company and we should be able to receive that event as well? Now, the thing here to understand is that KFC Global and KFC China are separate entities, but they may work hand in hand together in terms of supplies, in terms of the plans and whatnot that they have, but they're actually pretty separate in a sense where what probably happened during the event is that Hypergriff signed a contract with only KFC China at that point in time. And it was an event that also encourages people to stop by KFC quite a bit. Even during the event itself, some of the event missions that you had to do was to play the game and then collect these KFC points. So there's a lot of branding that happens during the event. In order for this to happen for AK Global, Hypergriff needs to sign a contract again with the company that they work together with. But in this case, the company that they work together with only based themselves in China, and they're looking for customers to visit their franchises in order to, buy their food and whatnot. And since we're global players and we can't go to China to, support the company over there, that's kind of why we're probably never gonna receive the KFC skins, and the KFC event itself, there's not a lot of rewards anyways, it's just those two skins that we're missing out on. And it's not too bad of a thing. I mean, we've already got an Ifrit skin, we just need an Exia skin additionally to top it off, and then at Global we don't feel out of place. The Exia skin doesn't have a skin till today. So it's gonna be a little sad, but simply bear with the fact that these two skins will definitely never come to Arknights Global, unless Hypergriff is a surprise, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen. Even the KFC collaboration with Genshin Impact didn't even happen yet. I think they said that it was gonna happen like a few months back, and then it still hasn't happened. The 2 wings hasn't been given to the player base yet. So no idea what's gonna happen for Genshin over there as to whether they're actually gonna give the event to the other players. Now, the next event to talk about is the Halloween skin reruns. So the Halloween skins reran together with the Granny event during Arknights CN. But for us, the Granny event was a little weird. It was shifted way forward in the timeline, and during then, they actually reran the Radiant skin instead of the Halloween skin. So for about, I think, a good few months now, we haven't seen the Halloween skin rerun, and a lot of people are just questioning when am I going to get my Cruz, my Warframe and Nightingale. Now, I don't have a definite answer as to when we'll actually receive it, but I think what might happen is that if this event were to come to AK Global, it's probably going to stack over another event. There might be an event where there's already new skins and some skins that they plan to rerun, but then they're going to stack it over with this additional skin rerun, which is the Halloween one. So there might be a season where we have like 6 or 9 skins that we have to buy in total. Of course, the best timing that they can rerun this skin is exactly for Halloween for the AK Global, so that meaning that they will rerun it next month and celebrate the occasion of Halloween with us. I'm honestly not certain what's the move here, but I do hope that Yostar makes a move soon, because so many people have been asking for this. I mean, if they want to make some sales, then isn't this the best opportunity to make those sales? So yeah, Halloween skin out. Now the next one to speak of is the Greyy login event. This one got on the nerves of a few more Arknights Global players because people were quite bothered that we aren't receiving the rewards, since there's event login rewards from that, and then there's also the good little Greyy free skin that we can get from the event. For this event, it was celebrated last year in Arknights CN, where it was a New Year login event. It started on Christmas Eve and then it ended sometime in the new year, like the first week of January. What I think might happen here is that they can't possibly not give this to us. We haven't even received the skin yet. So it's definite they must give us this event at some point in time. Since Greyy was supposed to celebrate a particular occasion, there's 2 instances that I can think that it might happen for Global. Again, the first one is that it actually happens for Halloween, again to celebrate that occasion. Or the second one is that they push it so far back that it happens on the Christmas day for us as well. I mean, it sounds more logical that they're gonna shift it to Christmas Day because the theme of Grey's skin is actually Christmas in itself. So this is at least a time in the video where I get this cleared with you guys, which you guys can at least have a peace of mind that this event will happen. It's just a matter of when. We're just gonna wait patiently as AK Global players. Now these 2 questions, I'm gonna answer it together. When is W returning and when is Rosmontis returning? A lot of you have asked me that, and I even see in Facebook groups, Reddit posts, Discord servers, so many people keep asking the same question: when is W rerunning? When is Rosmontis rerunning? I get the impression of why people are asking that because Dark Knight's Memoir has rerun, and then isn't W supposed to come after Dark Knight's Memoir? The thing here is that previous limited banners may not exactly receive a rerun. Let me explain to you what I mean. Now, the only limited banner that has ever rerun in CN is Nian, and other limited operators have never rerun before. The reason why Nian was given a rerun is because Nian didn't have the Spark Store system. If you're wondering what's the Spark Store system, it's the one where you can get those limited time tokens, and if you collect 300 of them, you can trade it for the 6 star within that limited banner. So Nian never received the update before, and AKCN decided to bring Nian's banner back so that we can actually get a chance to spark her if we actually need to. But after that, if you see the next event, which was the anniversary event where there's Surtr and there is Kelsit, W didn't rerun as her own banner. W instead ran within the same banner of Surtr and Kelsit, but she wasn't a rate-up operator. So Surtr and Kelsit accounts for 70% of the chance if you get a 6 star. So that means 35% and 35%. Whereas for the off-banner 6 stars, W appears as an off-banner, but her rate is slightly higher than the other operators within that banner. So the chance of getting W is around 4.5%. So it's 7 times lower than the actual rated banners, and it's just higher than the other 6 stars that's within there. So what you could do is that you can gamble your chance in order to get a W within that banner, or if not, you might have to go through the entire trouble of 300 pulls just to get yourself a copy of W. I know, it doesn't sound like a good thing. I mean, that's pretty much why the limited operator system in AK is pretty awful right now. Hypergrave really needs to make an improvement to their system before more and more players get pissed with the number of limited operators they're giving. Like, lower the spark count, lower the number of limited operators, or like, at least give a simpler way for people to obtain it instead of giving you 500 bucks each time we don't get a limited operator. At this point, quite a few might then be wondering, Cookie, will there ever be a rerun banner for W and Rosmontis banners only? So meaning to say we bring back the W banner where there's Elysium and Weedy, and then we bring back Rosmontis with Mudrock and I cannot remember the 5 star. Who was the 5 star in that banner? Shit, I have a poor memory. But to speak of this problem, we need to realize that not all operators are getting their own reruns. If we look at the operators who had their own character banners rerunning, they came from events that had their own story stages involved. So things like the Code of Brawl, which had the Mostima banner, then you had Skadi, which came from the event that had Big Bob in it, followed by Phantom, which was attached to Dark Knight's Memoir, Gavial rerun will come back with Eunectus in it, and then Suzerain is also coming back with TOW. So all of these specific character banners that came back all had this reason of a big event coming back for players to play. But other operators, on the other hand, are not as lucky to get an event that is of significance for the developers to feel that they want to rerun it. So operators like Chen, Magalan, Blaze, KOB, they all didn't get their event rerun because the events that they were attached to were so small that there was no reason to bring it back and to also bring the banner that is attached to the operator back. The same problem arises to operators like Surtr, who was in a mini story event, Arketo was also in a mini story event, and at the same time W and Rosmontis as well. W and Rosmontis was not in a limited time event. Instead, they were released together with a story chapter release for Arknights. So when chapter 7 was out and chapter 8 was out, these two limited operators then came in. They're not gonna rerun the release of chapter 7 and chapter 8, if you get what I mean. And that's kind of why W and Rosmontis is in this weird position where there's no reason to bring them back. Now, it doesn't mean that there's entirely no reason at all. If Hypergrave can make sense that people want these banners to return, they might want to spend in it and whatnot, then if they were nice, they will bring that event back. But right now, looking at the trend, it doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon. But I would think that Hypergrave eventually needs to change something about their limited operator system. Because if they don't do it, in the future, we're going to have a lot of limited operators, a lot of 6 stars. And new players coming to the game want to build these operators kind of fast, they want to experience more things, they don't want to feel like they lose out compared to the old players. If they want to make the game welcoming, they shouldn't make it so stressful for new players seeing so many operators and then just thinking like, oh, there's so many to collect, I can't do anything. Of course, this is not a game that you have to collect them all, but again, it's a gacha game. And the mentality that you have to collect them all always exists within the game. It's quite hard to explain this to new players who may have came from other gacha games. They need to take the time to get accustomed to the way Arknights works before they realize they don't have to collect them all. But again, first impression counts. People would think that they need to get things fast, and Hyperglyph need to innovate ways that will really enhance the experience for new players. With that, we shall just hope that W and Rosmontis will get their own rerun chance at some point in time, but for now, no news. It's not gonna happen in the next 7 months for sure in AK Global. Maybe it'll happen mid next year, maybe it'll happen late next year, but definitely not for the coming holiday season that most of you will experience. Now, I've spoken of the events that you guys know of. I'm gonna talk about some future events where it's a little bit iffy as to whether they'll come to AK Global or not. If you don't want spoilers, then you might want to stop the video here, but if not, stick around. Only 3 mini events that's in question. The first mini event is the Thorns, Surtr, Zima IT skins. Now this is just a small part that will be tied together to any event that Yostar plans to put it in, but there is a trouble as to whether or not this event will actually happen for AK Global, because again, this is a collaboration event, just like the KFC one, just like the WWF one, just like the Rainbow Six Siege one. Now this one is collabing with a fashion brand, and this fashion brand is more apparent in China. So the question now is AK Global gonna sign a contract that is okay for them to do this collab with our global players? The point of this event was that it was promoting to players in China to go and buy some of the fashionable items like shirts, pants, accessories, all sorts of very pretty stuff to wear. And the point of that is that if you actually purchase those outfits, you'll get probably like a promo code or a way to just key in your receipt in the game in order to obtain the skins for free after you've made the purchase. Now, the good thing is that they didn't limit it to only purchasing those outfits in order to get the skins. I think about 2 weeks later, then they actually added these skins to the outfit store where you can buy them with OP. So you don't have to buy those clothes if you don't want to wear them. But there's still a marketing objective, as you can see. They want players to spend some money together with the company that they're working with. So the problem at hand is I don't know if global players are going to get the chance to buy these outfits. I really want to get them myself. If the company is wanting to make more money, more sales, I have huge assurance that if they were to sell these clothes, a lot of players will want to buy them. I know I'm sold. I am a customer already. I will want to own some of these. But if they are unable to make it happen, I do hope that they will at least give us the skins, because these skins are really good. It's put on 2 of the most popular characters in Arknights, being Thorns and Surtr. So only time will tell if we actually receive this event or not, and we'll just have to wait it out. Now the next skin in question is even more complicated, and it's the Amiya Planter skin. Now this skin was not OP purchasable. This skin could only be gotten if you buy a commemorative artbook from the company themselves. Now the main issue here is whether or not global players are able to buy the artbook. Because if there is no means for us to buy this artbook and get the promotional code to key in to get the outfit, then we'll just be empty-handed. We will not receive the Amiya skin. I don't feel as bad about this skin not coming to global, because Amiya has received hundreds of skins right now in the game, and I know she's the main character of the game, but I think there's a lot of other characters that wants to get their own skins as well. So one less Amiya skin is not too big of an issue. But if you're an Amiya fan or you're a skin collector, this might bother you a little bit. There's a very good chance this will not come to global unless Hyperglyph plans a different way for us to obtain this. 3 final skins to talk about is the Courier, Blaze, and Vigna skin from Ambience Synesthesia. Ambience Synesthesia was an Arknights concert that was held, I think, in Shanghai, China. I hope I didn't get the info wrong. And it was a very fun occasion. If you want to watch the concert for yourself and enjoy your time over there, I've dropped the Bilibili link of the Arknights concert for you to go and watch. I sat in there in my Discord server with the other members in my server as well. About 50 of us were watching the whole thing as it happens. It was such a rave. It was a very good time to watch. Now those skins came as a commemoration for that event. The trouble now is that because of the branding, are we going to receive Ambience Synesthesia skins? I don't think it's too bad of a thing. I believe we're still gonna get these skins because this event was self-run by Hyperglyph themselves. There's no collaboration, this is all Hyperglyph's doing. It is very likely that they are still comfortable with releasing these skins for Arknights Global. And who knows, maybe when they release this skin, maybe we can buy the CDs or the digital copy of the concert to watch for ourselves. So don't worry, I think there's a good chance that we're still gonna see Blaze at the end of the day. I know a lot of you are looking forward to this skin. And I think that's all of the events covered. I hope there's no more missing events to come from Arknights Global. There might be reshuffles here and there as I covered in my previous video, but it should be all pretty okay. The most questionable stuff will always be those collaboration events, but I think now that Arknights has a focus in both the global, the JP, KR, and China community, with so many players across the globe, I believe they're gonna put a focus to manage all their servers well and appeal to each one of them. So, hope the information is good for you, and if not, I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye!